Only on WUSA 9, calls for DC's 911 call center to make changes and fast. Tonight, the embattled temporary director is defending herself and her agency. Thank you for being here with us. I'm Lorenzo Hall. Karima Holmes returned to the Office of Unified Communications in March, and since then, OUC has been plagued with a series of mistakes, including ambulances being sent to the wrong addresses and at least 5 DC residents who have lost their lives waiting for help to arrive. In an exclusive interview with Delia Gonzalez, Holmes answers what went wrong and why she deserves to lead this agency. And Dee, what's really her defense tonight?
Well, Holmes says she is deserving of the job because she is the expert. She said, we're not defending, we're only explaining our position that 911 is not a perfect system. And despite what many have heard, they're actually doing good work, and she's trying to make changes. For instance, to avoid these wrong addresses, about 4 months ago, Holmes helped launch new technology that flags a call if the address typed in by the call taker does not match what mapping tells the system. Her message tonight for DC residents: we're here for you.
I work in the different districts.
Our interview with Karima Holmes started with a walkthrough of the command center floor. 200 people fielding 911 calls for fire and police emergencies, 80 people answering calls for 311.
DC 911.
Many working overtime to fill in staffing gaps. They even let me listen in on an active police call as a veteran call taker worked to verify information and decide which crews were closest to dispatch.
It is hard to get intel from people in crisis. It is hard to get the right amount of information.
But isn't that where training comes in?
That's where training comes in.
But according to a 2021 audit of the Office of Unified Communications, those call takers lacked training and oversight.
They have not arrived on the scene.
Totally different address.
Problems that led to what the administration defines as missteps. Ambulances sent to wrong addresses, long delays, and loss of life as people, including babies, waited for help to arrive. Would you apologize to any of those families who lost loved ones?
Of course. If I know that we were the cause of their loss, of course I would apologize. I've reached out to some families. I think what's more important to these families is that we get it right the next time. That we do better, we add the training.
Holmes, who started her career as a call taker in her home state of Georgia, says the agency is learning from those mistakes, disciplining or retraining employees and reviewing calls. Holmes says she's rebuilding OUC, hiring 28 more call takers who just completed their 4 to 8 month training program. She said when she rejoined the agency in March, OUC was in crisis, down 60 positions, including supervisors.
So it's no way I could sit here as a district resident and let this agency fall that way. And so I came back as a duty.
This will be her second tenure at OUC. Holmes served from 2015 to 2021. She left as the agency was under intense scrutiny following the deaths of DC residents. Many say a year later, here we are again. More mistakes, more deaths, more scrutiny of its leader.
I made a career out of this.
Do you feel like you've been targeted unfairly?
You know, maybe. I try not to feel that way. I try not to think that, but it could be.
Why was it worth it for you to come back?
Because there's obviously a bigger fight. And you know, for the district residents, we are here for them. We take our calls serious. We don't make as many mistakes as it seems. There are way more successes, way more lives saved that don't get it to the media. DC 911 is not broken. What we do here is hard. We make mistakes. When we do, we remedy them, or we try and do better.
A candid conversation with Karima Holmes defending herself, the agency, and the call takers there at OUC. Now, we just got word of a new training academy at OUC, a program they call Next Generation 911, and we're told that will eventually allow folks to call, send pictures, videos, or even text messages to 911. And as far as that audit, well, Holmes says they're closing the gap and meeting more of the auditor's recommendations to improve training, supervision, and reliability of the OUC 911 system. Lorenzo?
I still can't get over, don't make as many mistakes as it seems. You're talking about people's lives here, so I would venture to say that just one mistake is just too many. Delia, thank you.